burger and a beer. And the last one that we're going to be doing at that bottom.
Yeah, so at that bottom was the, in fact, do you want to tell a story behind it? I mean, we were just about to record the album.
Well,
not yet.
I was going to write a song.
Not yet. Let's not get it out of the bag too soon, because it's good for when we get there. But believe me,
Facebook Live
I'm sure you've heard a truckload of bottom slapping jokes by now, Hettie.
You'd be surprised, actually. Not as many as I thought I would. I thought there would be much more of an uproar, and I would get dodgy messages on Facebook and all this kind of stuff. But I didn't. You know, people took it as a joke most of the time, and it's a lot of people's favourite songs. That's the one they want to hear from the set the most. So
strangely enough, Hettie, this is your most requested song that we have for you guys.
Yeah.
You know, so believe me, I think the formula works. I really do.
Yeah. I mean, it was literally we'd finished writing the album, and we were about to go into the depot in Devonport we've used for both albums. The engineer there is a genius. It's a lovely live room. They've got some great gear, and I mean, basically we set up and play live in there. It's fantastic. And Hettie said, kind of 2 days beforehand, "Don't forget, I'm going to write a song for the album." So we better hurry up. We're in next week. And then, we kind of had one quick rehearsal beforehand. Pretty much the third or fourth time we ever played it is what's on the record, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know something? I talked to a lot of bands over the years, and some of the best songs that have the most longevity are done basically on a McDonald's napkin, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Done in a short period of time. But these are gold, and I think Slap That Bottom has got that quality.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And,
well, that's Hettie's song, yeah.
and as I said to you, it's not easy getting an interview here because, of course, Barbara works tirelessly.
Hey, Bobby.
She works with production, and Barbara argue like crazy from time to time. Then it goes to a board. There's anything from 8 to 12 on the board, depending on which mood they're in. But their only concern, my friends, is that it's about our image. We only play the good stuff. So, having said that, I get it, but I get it in a... basically a USB stick that I plug into my phone and plug that into Bluetooth that to the stereo, and I don't know anything about it until I hear the song and then go back and discuss it and say, yes, I want to do the interview. So let's go live to the desk, and by the way, you might see me make a few suggestions. That's because I have a on-air engineer giving me stats and stuff like that. There we go, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM. It's 17 after 11 o'clock, 26 degrees downtown. Yeah, well, you know the weatherman said 23 today. We never agree with him, do we, Barbara? We never do. And dangerously close to me actually winning this at the moment. I said 27, so yeah, you never know. Plenty of day to go yet. Monday, December the 9th, and I am absolutely elated. First of all, I've got to congratulate everybody that's joining us Facebook Live. Thank you for doing that. Today, our feature artist is Boom Boom Deluxe, and believe me, I'm absolutely excited about this, simply because, well, we went all the way back through the history of Galaxy doing these interviews and have never done a rock and roll, especially a Kiwi rock and roll band, much like the caliber of this band, believe me, Boom Boom Deluxe. We're joined by D.D and, of course, Hettie D.D. Welcome along, guys.
How you doing, Grant?
Hey!
It is an absolute pleasure to have you join us, and believe me, we were really, really excited about that when we found out that finally we're going to be doing the interview with you guys, because, you know, it's not often that we actually get to have a Kiwi influence on our illustrious airwaves. And of course, let's not forget, Dee, you're not actually a native of New Zealand in any way, but you are a Kiwi at heart, aren't you?
Well, I'm a Kiwi citizen, so I've got a box for the passport, but I always give you one for travel.
Yeah, you're James Bond, aren't you? I've heard about you. Hettie, it is an absolute pleasure to meet you, dear. And I'm sorry for having our crew stress you out at the last minute. I know you guys thought this was an average everyday radio interview. Believe me, yeah, we will give you everything that we do, including a few photos afterwards. We'll do some crazy photos. You can put those on your phone. Show all your friends. You know, this is not what you do with these guys in Komodo. Strange people down there, apparently. But we will give you that and the video. Of course, we're going live right now on Facebook. We will transpose that into YouTube. Most people actually don't want to relive it. They bin it straight away. It really, it's just everybody in the States and Canada go, crazy Kiwis, really? Don't want to watch that again. No.
Well, we're too hungover to kind of be taking much in at the moment, so we're just going to nod and smile.
I like that. It's always nice to be hungover, and especially to get our victims in that position in the first place. Really, you really need maybe a little hair of the dog to be able to survive this one then.
Yeah.
Hettie, you look absolutely glorious this afternoon. Well, this morning actually. Keep saying this afternoon because I'm used to talking to people on the other side of the world. For them, it's, as I say, really refreshing to have somebody in New Zealand. Now, we started with Boom Boom Boogie, and we had to do that. Tell me a little bit about the lyrics. Where did they come from?
I wanted to backtrack. We used to do, when we first started, we used to play mainly covers, and we gradually replaced the covers with our own stuff as we produced it. And one of the songs we often used to finish the night with was like a rockabilly version of Boom Boom Boom, the
John Lee
Hooker song, kind of played at 3,000 miles an hour. And it always went down well. It kind of fitted in with the name and stuff. And when I was writing for the second album, I kind of thought, well, we should have our own kind of version of that. So playing around with Sammy, the guitarist, and kind of came up with that kind of southern boogie riff. And so Boom Boom Boogie was the obvious title, and it doesn't take a huge leap of the imagination to think of that as a metaphor for a kind of horizontal dancing.
Love that. I really, really do. Now, let's introduce the band to everybody. D.D. Deluxe is there. Hettie La Bombe, and believe me, she is the bomb. She's the pin-up girl. Been talking about, yeah. Sammy Mantis and, of course, the big man himself, Randy Rodriguez. Really, really cool Kiwi names, those ones. They really, really are. Over the last few years, Boom Boom Deluxe have been taking New Zealand and Australasia rockabilly and rock and roll scenes by storm. They really, really have. 2 acclaimed albums, over 50 inspired, over the 50s inspired, of course, going back then. Now, guys, why did you choose rock and roll? What inspired the rock and roll? Why did you go that direction?
Well, for me, I've been in the music business for quite a while. I've done a lot of blues and some soul, sort of like 60s soul, and even had a kind of a heavy metal career back in the day. But the roots of everything is rock and roll. There was no kind of popular music until the mid-50s, really. You know, kids just listened to the big band stuff and the crooner stuff that their parents did, and it was the first time where there was music that had an individual identity. And pretty much, I mean, even electronic music and you know, as modern and as obscure as you like, you can somehow trace it back to rock and roll. And it kind of seemed odd to us that there was no one representing that. I mean, we love it anyway, you know, kind of, we don't dress up like this. This is what we look like day to day. I mean, we walk around pack and save like this, you know. But it just seemed there was no one really representing it from a Kiwi point of view. There's lots of bands kind of doing the rock and roll club, RSA things, playing Elvis at half speed so that the older audiences don't die of a heart attack, you know, which is great. But Why not write your own music? Last year we tried to start a record label, and we put a big shout out to everybody, you know, all the rock and roll bands in New Zealand. Send us a couple of tracks, we'll put it on an Asian album out and try and create a bit of a scene. And then we realised that we were the only band with original material, which was an absolute shock.
And there are some bands that kind of do a bluesy type thing that could fit in with it, like the Recliner Rockers, who are good friends of ours.
Yeah,
you know, they do original music as well. But, you know, not outright rockabilly, rock and roll.
There's some good surf bands.
Yeah, surf bands. There's some in the vintage sort of scene, but
no one actually doing the
nothing compared to Europe and America here.
No. I mean, if you go to Australia, there's probably more original rockabilly bands in Australia than there is or has been in New Zealand in its entire history. It just seems slightly odd, but you know, that's life.
You know, I've got to applaud you because, believe me, I think there has been and really is a big gap there in the music industry, and you're doing your best to be able to fill that, and that is admirable. I absolutely love that, but more importantly, you're doing it well. You've got a good sound, you've got a good rapport. And
it's not easy.
Yeah, no, believe me, I know. I speak to so many bands around the world. I know it's not easy. And believe me, this is cutting edge, coming back, I think, with a familiarity that people need back in their lives again. I'm sorry, I play rap all the time, like a lot of radio stations. Doesn't enthrall me. I got to be honest with you.
I mean, you know, everyone's got their own personal aesthetic, and that's what music's all about. It's got to move you. Same with any art. If it doesn't have an emotional effect on you, then it's personally pointless. But the thing for us is actual musicians standing there playing stuff. In the same way that jazz guys, over the years, every time jazz makes a comeback, it's the fact you've got musicians doing stuff and interacting with each other live. I mean, all of our recordings have basically just been us in the same room, same as we would play live. It's not on a laptop, and it's not bits and pieces that are then tuned and mucked around with afterwards. I mean, a lot of the vocal takes on especially the second album, almost one take, maybe a couple of little patches on the backing vocals, but pretty much one hit. That's it. It's what we sound like. And, you know, for us, that has an authenticity and an honesty about it. That's why we love bands, you know, bands like the Cramps and stuff, who basically used to just go in and play a song 3 times, take the best recording, and that was what was on the album. I mean, that's just fantastic, you know.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. I really, really do. Now, let's talk a little bit about Crazy Legs, because, believe me, this is making quite a sensation here at Galaxy. How did you come to this?
Okay. Do you want the story I tell on stage while the guitarist changes guitars? Or do you want the true story?
I want the one that you're most comfortable with.
Okay. A friend has a 4-year-old niece who was listening to our music, and she was trying to understand about how songwriting worked. And I said, well, I'll tell you what, I'll write a song, you tell me something to write about. And she just looked me straight in the face and said, spaghetti. Now, that's not top of my list of songwriting topics when it comes to writing a rock and roll song. But I was determined to do it. And, we sampled some of his homemade brandy, and we had a few beers. And by about 1 o'clock in the morning, somehow I had a list of all the words that rhymed with spaghetti, including jetty, yeti, and John Paul Getty. So to get that into a song was kind of, I mean, it was a bit tongue-in-cheek, but again, it goes down great, that one live, so go figure.
You know, I absolutely love that. I really, really do. Which brings to mind another Kiwi band back in the day, Mother Goose, that wrote a song about baked beans, if you remember.
I don't, but I'm aware of it, yeah.
Absolutely. So spaghetti would be a challenge. It really, really would. Here at Galaxy 107 FM, live, joined by the guys themselves. Of course, we're talking about Hettie and D.D Deluxe. Here is Boom Boom Deluxe and Crazy Legs.
Hot in here. You got your fan blowing on.
How you feeling, guys?
brilliant. This is the most Kiwi thing I've ever done in my life. This is wonderful.
Nice. Believe me,
Well, we could add it
a lot
up,
of Americans say the same thing. Well, that was bloody Kiwi.
I'm waiting for Barbara to offer you a sausage and a bit of white bread. You know?
Well, soon, maybe soon. You know, lunchtime is coming up.
So
now,
we're playing, we're down your way actually, the end of this month I think, hang on. We are in Taupo on the 27th and Taradale on the 28th of December.
Taradale.
What date on the Taupo?
What date on the Taupo?
Taupo Cosi on the 27th. We always play there whenever we're playing down south as a stop-off. Because there's a nice hotel nearby that we always use. And, Taradale RSA have got us for a big birthday bash on the 28th. It's one of the pin-up girls from Napier, one of the rock and roll dancers. It's her whatever birthday.
Okay. So what would it take to get you here in our town for a gig?
As long as we cover our costs, we're up for it. You guys are Napier way, aren't you?
No. We're both plenty.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Look, as long as we can cover the costs and stuff, we'd love to, man.
I tell you what, we'll talk about that after we do this. What do you reckon?
Yeah, sure.
So the next one up, of course, is Everybody Rolls. And
okay.
I'm going to give you a fan question. Basically, how do we get hold of you? Are you on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter? But more importantly, that's where your fan base is these days, of course, being an internet world. Do you respond? You know what I mean? So think about that, and I'll ask you that. Of course, we can't really ask them about coming to New Zealand and playing in front of New Zealand audiences. They're already doing it. Yeah. But
well, we're going abroad. Next year we're touring Japan, so we can do it the other way around.
Yeah, of course you can. Of course you can. But having said that, of course, being in New Zealand, we might be able to tie in a few things that we do here that's pretty Kiwi anyway. So
sure.
You never know. At the same time, should I get involved with the 5 questions from the 50 Shades of Grey?
If you're going to make them laugh, why not?
We'll see what happens.
But don't use the euthanasia.
Guys, you're going to regret this. Hold on, let's go back to the desk. That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, 28 away from 12 o'clock, 26 degrees downtown. Yeah, not bad actually, it's quite muggy around Monday, December the 9th, and I'm absolutely elated to be joined by Hettie and D.D, coming from the band Boom Boom Deluxe, all the way from that far up city there, Auckland. Apparently it's pretty big. You never know. Guys, I used to work for Radio Hauraki back in the day as well, so I'm very, very familiar with Auckland. In fact, residing for about almost 30 years on the North Shore.
Okay, we're top of the North Shore, right at the top.
Okay, so I kind of got an idea where you're at. So nice to have you guys join us this morning. And welcome to everybody on Facebook right now that's joining us as well. You'll get a copy of this, guys. You really, really will. You'll be able to show your friends and cringe and make jokes about it at Christmas and New Year's Eve. You really will. And when you finish, throw a TV brick at it, whatever you want. But believe me, it is very, very Kiwi that we're doing this today. Of course, being here in New Zealand for everybody overseas, this is what I would call the top rock and roll band of New Zealand as it stands today. Now, guys, I got to ask you, D.D, when did you first started playing the harmonica? What is it, a C harp that you're blowing?
No. If you look on some of the footage of us in either the videos live or on some of the single stuff, the official stuff, I wear like a bandolier.
Yeah.
Because to cut a long story short, you have to have the right harmonica for the right key that you're playing in. So I carry about 10 with me on stage to cover off all the different songs we play live. In fact, I've got 2 for certain. I'm out the camera hiding. I've got 2 for certain songs: a low bass version and a higher version, so I can swap. You know. But so I started playing when I was about 15. I used to go to a club in London called the Marquee Club, which people might be familiar with, and a band I kind of followed around the country were called 9 Below Zero, that were a kind of an R&B blues band, incredible energy, and the harmonica player was jaw-dropping. And I ended up becoming, not friends, but he got fed up with seeing me down the front, standing there staring at him, and I used to chat to him at the bar, and he gave me a few tips, and I bought a couple of harmonicas, and that's kind of how I got into it. And I was a bedroom player for a long time, but gradually in every band I was in, I started sneaking harmonica into. So by the time Boom Boom Deluxe kind of burst into life, it became a fairly major part of the sound. You know?
You know, I absolutely love that. I really, really do. And I got to be honest with you, I'm kind of a bedroom hero in my own right. I really, really am. I interviewed a band, about a year ago called High South. Now, they're very, very popular in the bluegrass kind of way. And the conversation kind of turned around to, Grant, would you like a harmonica? So they sent me, literally, here, I'll show this to you.
Okay. Nice. Oh, branded harmonica. Cool. Yeah. Very cool.
Now, I've never blown it. Never have. Never disgraced the poor instrument with my breath. I've got to be honest with you. And I've got a friend of mine who is an absolute, I kind of call him the master of the harp. He even made himself his own harmonica out of greenstone. Absolutely stunning guy. He really, really is. In fact, we did an interview with him in the old radio station not so long ago, didn't we? About, 6 months ago. And believe me, we'd love to be able to get you guys together. It would be an absolute fun thing to be able to watch you guys just, you know the Battle of the Banjos?
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't be battling anybody. I'm not, harmonica's my kind of third instrument, But it sounds great. Actually, I've got a shout out. There's a guy called Martin Horspool, known as the Robot Man, who makes incredible Kiwi kind of robot 1950s inspired stuff, and he made me a harmonica box. Check this out. Out of 1950s scrap.
That is awesome. Absolutely
so cool,
stunning. Believe me, very, very lucky man. You really, really are. That is awesome. And a lot of respect to your friend that made it as well. Well done. Absolutely. Now, Hettie, the bass. Wow. How long have you been playing this instrument?
I took it up, I guess, about 12 years ago. I'm originally a guitarist. I started on guitar, then I moved to bass guitar, and then I moved to double bass, so it's like the instrument just kept getting bigger and bigger. It's got about as big as it can go now. I'm from a jazz background, so because I was at the time I was at university studying performance in jazz, and I was playing the bass and the bass guitar at the time. And really the instrument it should be is a double bass. So I was immediately drawn to it. There was just one sitting in the practice room, and, it only took a few seconds for me to know, yes, I want to play this, because it feels amazing. The whole sound resonates through your body. It's a very, it's a very special instrument. I had to play it.
I absolutely get it. I do. And believe me, when I saw the video, especially the one of you slap that bottom that we're going to be playing in a little while, you suit it. It absolutely emulates your character that you portray on stage. I think it's wonderful. Now, at the same time, that's a lot of lugging. Do you have guys do it for you?
No. I don't let anybody else touch my bass.
No, It's her baby. She protects that like a mother wolves and the cubs, you know?
You know, even though it's so big, it is surprisingly delicate. It doesn't take much to damage it. And it's actually not that heavy. It's hollow. It only weighs about...
17 kilos?
That's inside its flight case,
Yeah.
though, and the flight case will be about 5-6 kilos itself. So it's not heavy. It's just cumbersome.
When we fly for gigs, and we've done quite a few kind of South Island festivals and things, and the most terrifying bit isn't getting on stage in front of thousands of people, or will the sound be any good, or anything like that. The most terrifying bit is will the double bass arrive in one piece.
And one time they left it behind. We did a gig in Christchurch, and we got there, and we were waiting by the baggage collection, and waiting, and no bass. And so we went and asked what was going on. Oh, sorry, it's still in Auckland. We'll have to wait for the next flight.
Yeah,
I didn't put it on the plane.
Muscle car
How do you miss a bass?
Yeah, and the guitar, and the Gretsch guitar as well was also in Auckland, and we were meant to be on stage in about 2 hours' time at Muscle Car Mania and Madness rather, and luckily they swapped us around with the band for the evening, and we just waited at the airport for about 3 hours until it arrived on the next plane. But it was just, yeah, your nerves are like that sometimes, you know.
That's good Kiwi ingenuity, though, isn't it? You know, yeah.
It's something.
Yeah, there's something Kiwi, absolutely. There's very something Kiwi in there. Now tell me, Everybody Rolls. Rolls what?
Everybody Rolls is a song about just basically treating each other with an open mind and a bit of respect, no matter what. Doesn't matter whether you're black, white, green, religious, non-religious, able-bodied, whatever. And the lyrics are basically a little bit of a friendly dig at our need to find prejudice. You know, the one thing that seems to unite humanity is prejudice, which is a terrible aspect of being a human being, you know. And so the song's kind of it's not too preachy, it's not Bob Dylan-y, you know, but just basically, just be nice to each other, you know.
Yeah, absolutely, and believe me, it seems to be trendy these days to be a right-wing vegetarian or something like that, if you know what I mean. Well, it does. I'm going to ask you the 5 questions from the 50 Shades of Grant very, very shortly. Something like that is in there, but first of all, before we go to Everybody Rolls, fan question for you. How do we get hold of you? Are you on Facebook? Are you on Twitter? Are you on Instagram? But more importantly, guys, do you respond?
Yes, we do. We have got a less than 2 hour response rate on Facebook, I think. That's because
he sits on Facebook all day.
Yeah, because I got no. Everything gets. We've got a bit of software that redirects all of our social media to our phone. We used to have someone that looked after it professionally for us, but it was putting us even more in depth than we already are. The great thing about being a professional musician nowadays is that it still costs you money to make and record music, but you've got little or no way of making any money back apart from doing live shows. We had 68,000 plays on Spotify one month, and made about enough for us all to go out and get a coffee. I mean, it's just so yeah. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on Twitter. We're on Bandcamp, which is if you want to buy anything and actually support the band, that's the place to go because we actually get something out of it. But if you just hit us up on Facebook or any of those things, we're more than happy to send stuff direct to you. And you know, we've done kind of photos of stuff and signed things for kids, whatever. I mean, anyone that digs what we're doing, we're more than happy to say thank you. You know, it's great.
Absolutely stunning, because I think that's the modern day database of your fan clubs these days, to be very honest with you. So, right here at Galaxy 107 FM, here is Hettie and D.D, Boom Boom Deluxe, live with Everybody Rolls. Sweet tea. Gosh. How you feeling, guys?
Yeah, good. It looks hot in that room of yours.
Oh, it is. We've got no air conditioning. We've got a couple of little fans and, well, you know, an ant can fart faster than these things. Sorry, guys. Who's online with us?
Oh, we've got quite a few people. Cheryl,
Cheryl.
Bobby Macaroni,
Cheryl, I want a copy of your new song too, by
Hettie
the way.
D, Robert Gillies from
That's not
Fontaine.
dancing, Cheryl, is it?
No, this is from a
Kyla
band
Rawlins
called Blue
from,
Mariah.
the
The Blue
Hills.
Mariah band.
Hello,
Kyla
Cheryl.
from the Hills. Annette Freiberg. Kelly Smith, my friend from Auckland.
There's some very prestigious people
And,
from around the world
Samantha.
watching us right
Oh,
now.
and Jason. Hi, Jason from England. We
Ah,
must get
Jason.
together sometime.
Absolutely.
Whereabouts in England is Jason from?
Whereabouts in England is Jason from? Barbara, do you...
Oh, look, I can't remember. I'm sorry, Jason, but meet another
Type it in,
Londoner.
Jason. Type it in, let us know.
He's a Londoner.
Oh, he's a Londoner.
Oh, okay. Another London boy. Hello, Jason.
I don't know whether you'd be familiar with a place in London called Church. I used to work at the church. It's a
Oh, know it well, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I used to be a DJ
that
there.
was very out of hand, didn't it?
Yes, yeah. Too many Kiwis, too many Australians, too much alcohol, too much trouble.
I had an Australian girlfriend who used to go to the church and then to the Razorback, the two Aussie Kiwi pubs.
Yep. Well, I was actually the DJ at the church for about a year and a half, 18 months.
Yeah,
Yep, worked there. Used to stay in Piccadilly Circus.
yeah, absolutely. Crazy place.
Yeah, it was. You English people taught me so much. I'm blaming you guys, the colonials.
Hopefully we taught you how to spread your drinking out, because Kiwis seem to not drink and then they drink all of the beer that exists in 10 minutes.
Exactly. Yeah, no, we wait until you guys have had your fill, we'll just clean up afterwards. Absolutely. But of course, you know, Hettie would know this.
Yeah. Well, actually, Hettie isn't a born and bred Kiwi.
No, I wasn't born here. I've spent most of my life here, so I call myself a Kiwi. But I was born in Slovakia.
Nice. Well, that colours in a bit of our international...
Yes, it does.
Yeah, it does.
Slovakia. We haven't been there.
What about Avita and Simone? Where's Avita from?
She's from Ukraine.
From the Ukraine. Right, yeah. Yeah, sure, believe me, we have a lot, like Severio, for instance, he's from Finland.
And then there's Stanley.
There's Stanley, he's from Russia,
Gee, I'm
St.
good at these
Petersburg.
questions.
So we do a lot around the world. In fact, I can send you some photos of where, literally, if you pick up your phone, there's photos of us literally being played at the Vatican. Oh, we've lost them again.
You're talking
Perfect
to
time.
yourself. What are you talking?
Hold on, guys, we'll go to the desk. Hold on. That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, and just tell me, guys, how did you and Sammy and the big man Randy Rodriguez meet? How did it come together?
Okay, me and Hettie went to a rockabilly weekend in Rotorua once.
It was like a car show.
Like a car show thing, maybe 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And there was some live music, people we know quite well now, and they were great. But it wasn't particularly rockabilly. You know, it's kind of a vintagey feel, but not particularly rockabilly. And we were kind of thinking, well, wouldn't it have been great if there was a proper, you know, slap double bass and a proper kind of rock and roll thing going on that fitted the weekend? And we went back to the motel and, you know, and I turned to Hettie, I said, we should do this. And I'm always kind of stupid ideas like this, and she kind of goes, yeah. But the following day...
That was key. It was an excuse for me to buy more retro clothes, because if I had a band that I played in, that means I have to have more to wear on stage. So
yeah.
it worked for me.
So we made a short list of names, because unless you've got a decent name, a band is, you know, it's pretty hard work. I've been in a couple of bands that were great with terrible names, and it just doesn't help. And then, Boom Boom Deluxe just seemed, it just kind of jumped off the page at us. It was tongue-in-cheek, and it was kind of everything that was in our head about what we wanted to do, like a larger-than-life, fun, 50s-influenced, Kiwi twisted thing, you know? And literally, within 3 months, we were gigging, weren't we?
Yeah.
And within 6 months, we had enough music for a mini album, an EP. And then by Christmas, we're in the studio recording it. And that was it, you know? It kind of snowballed from there.
You know, I absolutely get that. I really do. Now, who writes the songs? Is it a collaboration of both of you and the rest of the band? Or, Dee, are you the guy that writes the music and puts all the structure together and then gets the band to do all the hard work? I
guess I'm the main songwriter, but I'm the worst musician in the band. So I've got one of those heads where I can write lyrics and I can hear a melody in my head, and then I can kind of hear it fully formed-ish. But then I have to sit down with Sammy or Hettie or someone and say, this is what I'm kind of hearing, play something, no, revoice that or bother, and eventually it comes together, and then we've got enough. Quite often me and Sammy will sit down and we'll just play it acoustically into my phone, so we've got the structure of it, and then we'll have a rehearsal with the full band, and the big man will chip in his kind of rhythmic stuff, and Hettie chips in with and it just, after a couple of run-throughs, the thing starts to take shape. And quite often, once we've played a song live half a dozen times, then you start to get little accents and little things happening, and intros and outros, and all those kind of things that make a song really fizz, you know?
Yes, I do know what you mean, and believe me, I've had enough experience to be able to say to you guys, I absolutely love the production work that is given to us at the end of the day. It's well done. And who's the producer? Is it you yourself, or are you going into studios and getting it done professionally?
No, we went into a studio called The Depot in Devonport, and
Morgan Allen.
Yeah, Morgan Allen, who is he's a genius. I mean, he's
very young. I mean, he looks like
late 20s, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
But I've worked with I've worked with guys from the Sex Pistols and the Damned, and toured with some quite big bands, and so you see all sorts of levels of professionalism, and even with some high budget stuff, Morgan is one of the single most professional engineer producers I've ever worked with. He's astonishing in that he's a nice guy. He manages the time astonishingly well, because we were pushing the envelope. I mean, I thought we did 6 tracks on the mini album in
3 days? 6 days.
6 days, and then we did 13 tracks on the most recent album in 7 days.
I think that was 6 days as well.
6 days, I mean, just ridiculous.
Not long enough.
And he has a way of getting the best out of you, but also saying, okay, that's enough takes, we can go with something from that, and he listens to the band, he kind of gets the vibe of what we're doing, and I've heard, he's done all sorts of stuff, different genres, and his understanding of what is needed to make it work as a piece, but also to satisfy what the band wants is astonishing. I mean, hats off to him. Lovely guy, can't recommend it enough.
I absolutely know who you're talking about. I know where they are in Devonport. I really, really do. I have a few friends that also have done a few recordings there as well. So
great studio.
Absolutely top notch. And as an engineer myself, I've done it once or twice over about 40 odd years. Literally, I compliment the work that's gone into this. I really, really do. And couldn't think of a better sound to be able to be listening to today. And this is a great reinsurgence back into this flavour of music. It really, really is. Now, Hettie, you were saying about clothes. Great idea. Let's talk about clothes. And, of course, your flavour of style of basic clothes goes back to the 50s, doesn't it?
Yes, and earlier, and a little bit later. I mean, I've always loved the pin-up style, and just think that the clothes are classy and flattering, but also, sexy at the same time. And it's just so much fun to wear. And it's the sort of thing that I don't believe ever went out of style. You can see a lot of it coming back in fashion. Every now and then. All of these things started out then. So it's nothing new really. And I mean, I love going to an op shop and scouring the racks and finding something, something really old that's got a story behind it. And for me, that's always been a passion.
We have a young lady here in town here at Kawerau called Miss Kit Kat. Now, I've done an interview with Miss Kat here live in the studios. Of course, I'm talking about Andrea Halings, and I know her husband as well, Nick. Apparently, you guys actually somewhere down the line do actually know each other, which is really, really cool. I think he's into cars, she's into clothing, and believe me, he buys her everything. You couldn't ask for a better husband for a wife here in New Zealand. You really, really couldn't, except for you two. Now, I think you have a very, very similar taste, Hettie, in clothing and everything like that. Do you go to the same shows?
Yeah. I follow her on Facebook, and I'm always watching her outfits, and she's got some great stuff. And I'm sure she does the same for mine. I mean, there's a big pin-up community in New Zealand, and we've met so many people over the few years, all the places that we've played. There's always a great turnout, and it's a wonderful thing when everybody dresses up. It adds so much to the experience, and we love it.
I mean, of course, Noddy Watts, who runs Beach Hop, is the kind of it's the hub every year. We've played it since we first formed, and Beach Hop is always the kind of one of the big events of the year. As exhausting as it is, we end up playing 4 times in 2.5 days, kind of thing. You're dead by the end of it. But that's great to have a town full of kind of vintage classic cars and lots of people dressed up, and all the local bars kind of playing rock and roll, and that's great. The one lovely thing for me about the pin-up stuff, I mean, obviously I love seeing people dressed in cool clothes, especially the vintage clothes, but it's the kind of universal acceptance of everybody's kind of, if someone makes an effort and gives it an honest go, they get the appreciation that they deserve. And it doesn't matter what shape you are, what colour you are. In fact, I think
how old you are,
and even gender now has kind of become rightly so. Who cares? There's a couple of guys doing the pin-up things. There's a couple of trans people doing it. There's, it's crossing every single boundary possible. And during those competitions, people treat each other how we should be treating each other anyway. And it's just, it's lovely to see. It's a shame that it takes something like that to kind of lever that out of people. But it's great, leading by example. In fact, the biggest pin-up competition anywhere in the world at the moment, which is the Viva Las Vegas one, I think in the last 10 years it's been won 3 times by Kiwi girls.
There you go. Absolutely stunning. And of course, Kiwis, what can we say? Most hospitable in the world, we really are. And I'm so happy that you guys are making your homes here, especially in Auckland. Really, really am. By the way, have you ever jumped off the Sky Tower?
No. I hate... I'm not scared.
You won't even go up the Sky Tower.
Going up a ladder worries me. I'm not scared of heights, but I'm just scared.
Yes, you are.
I'm terrified of hitting the floor at a high speed.
Ever heard of vertigo?
Yeah, good
movie. Yeah,
great great soundtrack.
Well, I tell you what, that's one of the things that we invite people to do when we bring bands into the country to play for us here in New Zealand. Now, you guys are already here, and we are very much going to talk about doing something together after we do this interview. But first of all, guys, I'm going to give you 5 quick questions out of the 50 Shades of Grant, and I'm sure, Dee, you'll be very, very interested in this one. James Bond, right? You remember that just recently broke his ankle, and while he was having his time off, and of course the management got together, wanted to put together a female James Bond. World was disgusted. You know what their reaction to that would be. And, well, now they've come up with a new plan, my friend. They've come up with a gay James Bond. Guess what they're going to call him?
I don't know.
07. Okay.
Did he really just say that?
Yeah, he really did just say that, and it went out live around the world. By the way, 62 countries, 94 cities around the world right now are tuning in, listening to this. And I've got to ask you, now, Boris Johnson, caretaker Prime Minister of the UK right now, seeing there's an election underway, Jacinda Ardern, Angela Merkel and Donald Trump. Who's the odd one out?
I think Donald Trump is. Is not a proper politician.
There you go, you're right, bang on, straight time. But he's the only one that matches the colour of what he's going to end up being impeached.
Right, so
That's right.
So hang on, it's taken us two now. Basically, you're setting us up for your bad dad jokes.
I am, I really am. Yeah, absolutely.
This is like when you're a kid and your mum and dad go down the pub and they leave you round your uncle's house for a while, and he's drinking double brown and he starts telling you jokes.
Yeah, it's like pull my finger.
And you leave there mentally scarred a couple of hours later.
Yeah, exactly. Don't forget, Christmas is only about 15 days away. I've got to get something in now. This is typically Kiwi style of way. I told you you're never going to want to do this again when we first started. And I also said you need a stiff drink. You were saying hungover. I recommend maybe a bit of something with some ice in it right now, a bit of a sedative. Because I want to talk about Lucky 13 before we end the 5 questions of Grant. Tell me all about it, because believe me, as we go through this, you're getting more and more and more requests right now. 1,300 requests, 1,371 actually, I've been told, have been requesting this particular song. So we need to know all about it.
Lucky 13. All right, it's a story about a racing car driver in the 1950s, kind of semi-pro, who was a female, and back then that was absolutely just verboten. It was not heard of, and basically she upset a lot of people by winning. So it's a bit of a kind of a hypothetical love story written around that kind of thing.
Okay, I get it, and believe me, the Jane Eyres of Four Wheels, I get that. That sounds really, really cool, to be very honest with you. Here, right now.
13, look.
There you go, Lucky 13. Believe me, I love the shirt. I really, really love that shirt. I do. I'll take you up on it. Believe me, you kind of remind me of a T-Bird.
What, the car?
No. Do you remember the movie Grease?
Unfortunately, yeah. We get booked to play virtually every single corporate Grease-themed party that's ever existed.
Yeah.
And it's great, but
it's kind of not really what we do. We're purists.
Yeah,
You know what I mean.
Grease was, Grease has got some great pop music in, but it was a 70s movie with actors in it that basically were just doing a job. John Travolta has basically, even come out and said he didn't really enjoy the music that much.
Yeah, and look what...
John was a pop singer, and I mean, it was a Hollywood movie. It's a bit like kind of, a bit like asking an archaeologist if they like Tomb Raider or something. It's like faux rock and roll. It
is. It really is.
This week and kind of
You've upset so many people.
Yeah, absolutely. Good on you too. I recommend it. And don't forget, Olivia Newton-John is reduced to weed now.
Weed?
Yeah. Believe me, she's taking medical marijuana to be able to just forget. Yeah, exactly. I recommend it. I really, really do.
She was very ill about 10 years ago, so if it's anything to do with that, good luck with her.
Yeah, she recommends it. In fact, she says if you ever take oil, it's good for your joints.
There's a joke in there. I see what you're doing.
It really is. Here's Boom Boom Deluxe.
comedy hour, isn't it, basically? Just give random people on and just tell your terrible jokes to them.
I'll give you a chance to go and get a stiff drink right now. Here's Boom Boom Deluxe. Lucky 13.
Hi, Clyde Hill.
Clyde.
When are we going to interview me and May with their new song?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Want to talk to Sean and the gang again would be an absolute pleasure. And thank you for joining us, Clyde. Clyde is a promoter in Canada.
Cool.
And he promotes a lot of bands in Canada. He was the first manager of a band called Nickelback.
Oh yeah, very familiar with their work.
Yeah, I've heard them once or twice as well.
Yeah. Well, if he wants to bring us over, we'd be more than happy.
Well, I tell you what, I can put you in touch with the man. I can.
Clyde, me,
Now,
D.D,
having-
Hettie.
Having said
As a
that,
band that he booked, but yeah.
having said that, we have friends around the world that we can get you in touch with. And very, very shortly, I'm going to ask you about, would you mind if we actually sent all of this information that we're doing right now to our sister company in Florida, Jacksonville, Florida?
No, of course not.
They,
We're trying to we're touring Japan next May. We're doing because our viewer stats on YouTube and Spotify, the third biggest country ahead of New Zealand that listens to us is in Japan. So we're going over there in May, but we're trying to organise something in the States as well.
Nice.
Maybe for 2021. So Australia and the States is the next thing we're trying to do.
Let
So
us give you-
anything over there would help.
Nice. Let us give you a few pointers because believe me, we have some very, very good friends over there that would love your stuff, including Frank Moma, who owns a late night television show over there in Jacksonville, Florida. I'm sure he would be very interested in playing your stuff on his TV. 60,000 people watch his TV show every night.
Cool.
So, and yeah, unfortunately it's got me on it as well. Let's go back to the desk. That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM. It is 6 after 12 o'clock, 27 degrees downtown. So far, Barbara, I win. Yeah, but it's still plenty of day left, isn't there? Monday, December the 9th, and absolutely elated to be joined by Kiwis, even though they're not from New Zealand. They are New Zealanders, they really, really are. Called Deluxe, yes, Boom Boom Deluxe, in fact. And now, you guys were recently interviewed, and believe me, I bet you it was nothing like this, by Stephen Sharp.
Yes, we when the new album came out, let's backtrack. We sponsored by radio station Magic, that sponsored the tour for us, which was great. And we knew they'd be plugging the album, and we've got to know the DJs on the station quite well. So we thought we'd come up with the most unpronounceable album title name we could. So the album's called Teenage Juvenile Delinquent Rock and Roll Horror Beach Party. One word.
I am so glad you said that. I don't have enough lungs for that one. I really, really don't.
Teenage Juvenile Delinquent Rock and Roll Horror Beach Party. Yeah. And of course, they couldn't get that out in the 15-second trailers. So we did it almost to spite them. But it kind of backfired because the adverts just ended up not having the name of the album. So it kind of it backfired a bit, and some of the radio stations that our promo team approached, I don't know, it's as Hettie said earlier, we just seem to be a bit niche. And then out of the blue, 7 Sharp said, "Oh, we love the new single. Do the guys want to come on the show?" So we rolled up one Friday night and set up, and I've got to say the team there were fantastic, and we did a quick sound check, played through once, the cameras checked the angles and stuff, and then all of a sudden there was a big red flashing light, and the producer came running in, so we've got to clear the studio, we've got to go live. There's been a shooting in Christchurch, and it was the night of that terrible, terrible event. And so literally all hands on deck, even the presenters were helping us break the gear down. We got out the studio and we kind of stayed in the car park thinking, wow, just what's happened, and then all the news came through, and it was, and then literally someone from TVNZ rang us on the way back, we were heading back to base. Oh, well, we booked you in again for 2 weeks' time. So it ended up happening. That was a terrible event. But it's one of those things. There's so much drama and so much happening. We'll never forget it. But it was great, and I think it was one of the on the 7 Sharp Facebook page. It's one of their most viewed videos of all time, I believe, which for us has been fantastic.
You're the first ever rockabilly rock and roll to ever hit primetime television. Now,
that's right. Yeah.
Now, I quote this: appeared as themselves in US, New Zealand, Denmark drama show Straightforward. Who else would you appear as?
Well, originally, it's like a con woman in Denmark comes out of prison and moves to Queenstown and tries to go straight. That's the storyline. And they filmed most of it in Auckland, and there's a bit where she's joining the local community. There's a big fundraiser to try and, build a community hall or something. And there's a band in the background. And they originally had a local singer-songwriter girl just kind of sitting on the stage. And then one of the producers saw us at, what festival was it? One of the festivals we played at, and said, oh, these guys would be great. And we just got a phone call and went along. And they said, do you want to do it? We said, yes, we'll do it as long as we can play our own music. So we went from being the band in the background to actually Boom Boom Deluxe. And the cast that were kind of dancing to us in the background, I guess they kind of heard the song so many times, they had no chance but to kind of get into it. And we ended up in the script. The guy that got up on stage introduces the, thank you, big round of applause for Boom Boom Deluxe. It was bizarre. We thought all that would get cut, but in episode 5 we're on the screen for about 10 minutes. That's crazy. It's almost enough for a promo video, no? So yeah, go figure. But that's been shown in Denmark and in the States and over here and in Australia and Japan as well, I think.
Nice, absolutely stunning. It's amazing how the red carpet is begging you guys to be able to just, stand on me. You're coming. You are coming. You really, really are. Now, I see your interest in rockabilly, rock and roll, classic cars, vintage clothing, rock and roll dancing, swing dancing. But now let me ask you, Dee, who were your influences? What was the one thing that made you want to be a rock and roll performer?
That's a very good question. I guess can't really go further than Elvis. When you see Elvis tribute people, they nearly always, I would say 75% of all of the Elvis guys that do the Elvis show do 70s Elvis, because it's an easier voice to do and the look is very dramatic. But 50s Elvis, oh my goodness. You think about what he achieved in such a short space of time, the number of shows he did. That's All Right Mama, which we still cover. That was them mucking around in the Sun studio. It's him and Scotty and I always forget the bass player's name, terrible. But they were just mucking around with an old kind of country ballad, and Elvis was a bit of a clown and was standing on the chair singing it kind of double speed. Sam Phillips came in and said, do that again. And literally what you hear on record is the third time they'd ever played it. It's one microphone, no drum kit, bass, drums, Elvis, round one mic. It's astonishing, absolutely astonishing. The performance, the energy, the playing, and that's what all that stuff was like. To me, the level of, for me, that's what really hits home about music of that era. The kind of the sheer moment in time-ness of it, if that's the thing.
Yes, I absolutely get that, and believe me, I'm a big Elvis fan myself. I've got quite a bit of Elvi in the system, I gotta be honest with you. But at the same time, Hettie, what was your influences? Why did you want to get into music?
Oh gosh, so many. I have pretty eclectic tastes, and I play just about in every genre you can think of. Everything from classical music to, very experimental stuff. I also play the theremin, I don't know if you know it, it's an electron, you know, with the arrow on one side and the other. I can't play it properly, but I occasionally do like a free improvised thing on that, and that's very different to what the band is like. And, you know, so music has always been something, I couldn't even trace it back to a particular moment. It's just, I've always known that I have to be involved with it, and I guess it's not the genre, but Jimi Hendrix was definitely one of the real, you know, seminal moments for me when I heard All Along the Watchtower. I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this somehow, some way. It's not playing, you know,
I get it.
Music, but it's still, I mean, to me, the genre doesn't really matter. You know, it's what you say through the music and how you say it that counts. So
Exactly, and I get it, I really do. By the way, I'm a very accomplished triangle player and don't think there's enough cowbell in anything.
No, sure. Yeah, well, we need some session triangle on the next album.
Well, I tell you what, give me a call. I'd be more than happy to bring my triangle along and my absolutely charismatic smile, and you never know, we might be able to make a hit record.
Fantastic, let's do it.
Love that idea. I'll be up for auditions when you guys come and play here in town, and believe me, I want to talk to you about that. But Burger and Beer, now you're talking, this is my language. Tell me all about it.
Okay. Well, this is off the first mini album or first album, and one of the things I've really liked about the 50s music was the sense of humour that appeared in so much of the, I mean, we call it rock and roll now, but then it was pop music. You know, bebop and lula. What does that even mean? You know, Scritch Scratch, Splish Splash, I was taking a bath. You know, I mean, there's all that kind of tongue-in-cheek, light-hearted, I guess, kind of post-war. You know, thank goodness we're still here, and there's a bit of prosperity about that. You know, at the moment, and we know some fantastic musicians, don't we? We're very lucky to be friends with some incredibly talented people. But a lot of the music that seems to be popular at the moment, and stuff that my daughter listens to, is emotionally flat, shall we say. Even though there's some great performances, it's just that I don't know.
It's all too serious.
It's too serious. People staring at this. Yeah, it's, you know. So we kind of thought, let's do something tongue in cheek. Now, Burger and a Beer was basically, let's try and write a Kiwi rock and roll song that was kind of a barbecue-y, you know. We filmed it at a wonderful American diner owned by a guy who's sadly no longer with us, a guy called Lizard in Mission Bay. What's the American diner called?
The Bald Eagle.
The Bald Eagle diner, that's it. And he was
still there, though. Yeah. Still there.
Yeah, he cleared all the tables out of the way, and we borrowed a friend's 49 Mercury to drive up in, and we basically just set up and played along to the song 3 or 4 times. There was a few rock and roll dancers there, and him and his staff joined in. It was brilliant.
It's a pretty small place.
Yeah.
They didn't have to have a lot of dancers to fill it up.
They served us the Elvish burger, and we drank some beer that we had our own labels put on, and basically the whole thing was filmed in about 2 hours. And the videos had like 150,000 views on Facebook and about, I don't know, quite a load on YouTube. I mean, just ridiculous. A small percentage of people, I don't think, understood that it was meant to be tongue-in-cheek. So there's some, you know, if your viewers and listeners look at the video on Facebook, don't read too many of the comments because there's some pretty caustic stuff in there. But you know, everyone's allowed an opinion. But yeah, it's just meant to be a funny, and it's, you know, I guess that and Slap That Bottom are our 2 most requested songs that we play live. You know, we can't do a show without playing that.
Yeah, and I fully agree, because believe me, this is your second most requested song here at Galaxy. You're way up around 25,000 requests so far.
Wow.
Literally, since we've been playing, you guys have actually gone through the roof with the Burger and a Beer. So right here at Galaxy 107 FM, here is Boom Boom Deluxe, Burger and a Beer. You're almost there, guys. Well, Believe me, you'll need a stiff cup of tea after this.
Yeah.
I feel like it's now.
Yeah.
I was wondering why I was hungry all of a sudden. Now I have to have a burger and a beer.
There you go, there you go.
He's getting near that time for a burger.
It is,
and a beer.
well, it's, you know, look, it's
Lunchtime.
18 minutes past 12.
Yeah.
The staff will
Hi,
be
Bruce from Aussie.
hankering to get across to Cayman's pub. They will. I know I am.
So, next year, we're already, I mean, up until almost June, we're virtually booked solid. It's insane. And the Japanese thing, we've had to kind of book gigs around, which is kind of, it's great, but we're going to have almost a month of solid touring, end of April to the end of May. We'd be crazy, but we'd love to come down and do something with you guys.
Well, I tell you what, we will talk about that after we've finished the interview, guys,
sure.
because literally we're interested in this. We do bring bands into the country. Barbara runs Aurora Entertainments, which brings bands into the country so that we can get Kiwi bands on
But we
stage
need
with
sponsors.
some more international acts. You know what I'm saying?
Great idea, yeah.
It's purely selfish. We do want to have more Kiwis polished and used to being on stage, having, you know, crowds looking at them and stuff like that before we send them overseas. But besides,
I mean,
for us,
it's hard over here because people are so spread out.
yeah,
You know,
exactly.
We've played every major centre in New Zealand like 3 times now.
Except Wellington.
Except
You've
Wellington.
never been to Wellington?
Yeah, the one place we've never played live, bizarrely enough. Yeah.
Was that a political decision?
No, just yeah,
But
it's
you know what?
it's too far to drive, and most of the time it's like, you know, it's an 8-hour haul for us.
There's no sort of vintage car show or festival there.
So
You're like,
They're boring.
Fly us down, you know.
They're boring. Too many grey suits there. Hold on, let's go back to the desk. I do think Wellingtonians are boring.
They're all politicians.
What can I say?
Corporate.
That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM. It is 21 after 12 o'clock, 28 degrees. It's getting closer to Barbara's prediction. I hope it cools down now. I want to stay winning on this one, I really do. Monday, December the 9th, you're right here at Galaxy, and I'm joined live, coming out of Auckland, New Zealand, by the band Boom Boom Deluxe, and of course we got D.D and Hettie joining us, and an absolute pleasure talking to these guys about the histories of their music and where they come from, everything like that. And believe me, it is an absolute pleasure for us to be able to introduce to the world this particular band, because believe me, Kiwis, you got to get behind them. You really, really do. Now, having said that, guys, slap that bottom. Believe me, we've been building up to this. 31,000 requests on this, 31,099, almost 32. You know, yeah, we're getting there. Tell me, where did the inspiration for this come from?
Wow. Ooh, okay. Well, I decided I wanted to write a song. I was going, you know, D.D writes most of the songs. I mean, I write my own material for other projects. But I've been kind of busy with that stuff, and I thought, no, I really want one of my own songs on the album. And I wanted it to be something based around the double bass, yeah? So something that had a bass riff to it and really used the slapping technique, because that's a very particular technique for the rockabilly sound, where you actually hit the strings and pull them away from the fingerboard, and it creates that really percussive sound. So I wanted to write something about that, but something that would be a little bit fun and a little bit cheeky, you know? And that's kind of so when I say slap that bottom, you know, I'm talking about the low ends, the double bass, you know, nothing else. If you think it's anything else, then that's just your imagination.
That really pulls the carpet from underneath my feet, believe me. I was kind of hoping something else, to be very honest with you, and maybe it might have included handcuffs, you never know. But
Well, to be honest, I've been standing up for the whole interview.
Oh, so you were that short? Okay, I get it, I understand. You're right here at Galaxy 107 FM. The number one Boom Boom Deluxe song that's requested here at Galaxy is Slap That Bottom. Here it is.
I'm gonna slap that
I'll post this one up on the post that I do later, everyone. It's a great song.
Oh, dear, oh dear, oh dear. Guys, we'll wrap it up after this, but don't go anywhere because we do a couple of photos. We actually put them on our website. Now, everybody that's listening to us around the world has to stream us live from our website. So they don't just stream us, they get nosy and have a look through them. In fact, I feel very oogled sometimes, I've got to be honest with you. So we'll put a video up there as well for you guys. It's all about promotions. And I want to ask you, have you ever heard of a guy, I'm not sure whether you'd be familiar with Nashville in any way? Okay, there's a friend of mine over in Nashville who has his finger on the pulse with all of the Planet Rocks and stuff like that. All the malls, the floating palaces, everything like that. He deals with videos. It gets, basically you can go to a Burger King and see yourself playing. Just wondering if I can pass on that information to him.
Yeah, just give him our YouTube channel. We've got all our official videos for the singles. So there's 5, maybe 6 up there.
Nice.
And they're all broadcast quality and yeah.
Nice.
And all directed by Hettie.
Oh, nice.
Well done.
Absolutely. Well, I tell you what, if a guy from Visual Image Marketing, VIM, by the name of Steve Baker, gets in touch with you, please talk to the guy because he really does help. Again, if Frank Moomer from Jacksonville Late Night Television gets in touch with you, please have a chat to him as well because...
we talk to anyone, though.
Nice, because this is all about promoting you guys. At the same time, if you've got any CDs or anything you want to do a giveaway with, we'd be honoured to be able to do a competition for you guys.
You're getting a shirt anyway.
Yeah, well, he's going to give me a shirt anyway, yeah. That's like... what's his name from the Roadhammers who's going to give me his pants?
Clayton Bellamy.
Clayton Bellamy, yeah. Literally,
Your whole outfit.
the guys from the Roadhammers, they're literally in the Hall of Fame in Canada. And this guy promised me he would give me his pants. Yay.
Don't forget about your hat.
Don't forget your hat.
So do I!
From Rod Black. Rod Black's hat.
Oh, Rod Black's hat, yeah. Believe me. Yep, yeah, I might actually be able to get dressed one day. Anyway, let's go back to the desk and we'll wind this up. But thank you so much for joining us. I'm sorry it was so painful. Anyway.
If you don't behave, I'm gonna slap that bottom. If you don't behave, I'm gonna teach you a lesson. If you don't do what I say.
That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, 27 after 12 o'clock. It is 28 degrees, scaringly close to Barbara's prediction at 29 odd. It is Monday, December the 9th. Only 15 days away from Christmas too, by the way. Just, reminder. Yeah, Barbara hates me reminding. But today we were joined live by a feature artist, Boom Boom Deluxe, coming out of Auckland. Of course, we're talking about D.D and Hettie. Now, guys, please pass love on to Sammy and, of course, Randy for us, won't you? Maybe very, very soon, I'm going to say to you, how would you like to come back and promote your new work with us? And we would love to be able to have an interview with you anytime. Would you do that?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, we're going to be down your way later this month, and I think sometime in maybe March next year as well. So yeah, let's do it.
Now, at the same time, you're going to be playing, I think, in Taupo.
Yeah.
Now, how about giving us a few free tickets so that we can give some away to the people that listen in Taupo?
Well, I'll tell you what, we will make it a free admission event, so if people just turn up, they can just walk in the door.
There's an idea. I might even get in the car and come over and see you live. Oh, God, I feel sorry for you now.
It's got a great dance floor at the club there. Yeah, real good dance floor. It's to the side of the stage, so you have to kind of play to the front, and then we kind of look over to the side and wave to the dancers. It's cool.
Yeah, you know, I absolutely got a giggle out of this. Out of your bio here, it says now you're having an acclaimed 2 albums of 50s inspired rock and roll and non-stop touring schedule. This, I believe, delivering high energy performances and leaving tired but happy dance floors behind. What about the people?
Wow. Yeah, it's just the dance floor. We're only concerned with parquet flooring. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You know, believe me, I've been a DJ in a number of nightclubs over the years. You know, I've left many a dance floor, and believe me, not quite successfully all the time. To be very honest, so it's hard to keep a very happy dance floor. It really is. But the people were having fun. They were. Guys, we've got to wrap it up right now. It is bang on 12:30. Thank you so much for joining us here at Galaxy. We'd love to have you back, and believe me, now that you've done an interview with us, I'm sure the grey hairs are going to arrive anytime now, but you are Galaxy family. You can come on back and talk to us anytime you want.
Thank you. We really appreciate it.
It's a pleasure.
And thanks to Barbara for all the behind-the-scenes stuff. We keep seeing her little selfie stick poking in and out of the side of your head. It's really cool.
Yeah, she's dangerous with that thing. You really got to swishes it around like a sword. She's almost buccaneerish. Take that, you know, she really is. Anyway, guys, we will move on, but don't go anywhere just yet. We've got a couple of more things that we do, including a few photos for Facebook, everything like that. But in the meantime, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, going over to B Studio now. Here's Warren. We will rock you.